What is up, everybody? It's me, YemmytheFerret, here with another episode of YemmyCast, a video game podcast on SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Music. What is up, everybody? It's still pretty hot here in Ohio, and as usual, I've shut off my air conditioner for you guys so that you may enjoy this podcast without the sound of rushing wind going past my face. If you haven't noticed, I got a new t-shirt. It's the Psy-Duck Collection, Bewildered Psy-Duck Collection shirt. I say it's pretty fabulous. I don't know about you guys. I love it. It has just all the pictures of Psy-Duck on there that we talked about from the live stream. Episode 50 was a live stream on Sunday. I ordered this t-shirt on Saturday, and it's already here on Tuesday? Damn, the Pokemon Center in America is on point. Woo! But hey, welcome anyways, everyone. It's, last episode was crazy. We went for 2.5 hours. I was able to slim down the audio version for SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, Apple Music, to about 2 hours. I couldn't cross out the interviews and the questionnaire, the questions, the quiz, and the news, and all that stuff. So what did we talk about in YemmyCast episode 50? If you do want to, we talked about Call of Duty 3 and the Call of Duty series. We talked news, including Nintendo shareholder meeting, Q&A, and a bunch of other stuff that is a little bit less important. And we also had a few people on to try and win t-shirts and also just to talk to. We had Brian LaCroix on, Callus from Game Consolers, a retro fellow, and of course, the big one, Player 2. He was on as well. They all tried to win a t-shirt, and we actually ended up giving away 3 t-shirts, and those should be in the mail anytime now. It's amazing, though. I'm so glad that I was able to do this, and I was so glad that as many people who did showed up. It was amazing. It was really great, and I really had a lot of fun with it. I've never really streamed for that long, just doing a podcast before, so it was fantastic. So yeah, I think we'll just start off with the news, and we'll go from there. I'm going to try and make these next 2 episodes a little bit shorter, just to kind of get back into the groove of it again. This is episode 51, and we're back at it. We're back at it. We're back on the grind. No more live streams until episode 100, and because that's the big celebration. That's the big celebration, episode 100. So when that comes around, we'll be doing another live stream, and we'll be doing another giveaway as well. So if you missed this one, there's another one coming up in the future. Just think, it's only been about half a year, and we've already gotten 50 episodes in? Not too bad. Maybe in time for Christmas we'll have more. We'll see. It depends if I get sick again. I've gotten sick like 3 times this year, and I've missed like a few episodes here and there, and it kind of messes up the schedule a little bit. So I'm hoping that I don't end up getting sick again the rest of this year, because I had that sinus infection. Jeez, that affected me for so long. That was probably the worst out of the flu I had this year and the sinus infection. I'd say the sinus infection was probably worse than the flu, even though the flu I was like weak and hurting and all that stuff. But the sinus infection was like all in your face, and my whole face just hurt. It was a lot worse than the flu, but at least I'm alive and well. We're in the age of modern medicine, and I tell you what, it helps. It certainly helps. Some people will be like, "Hey, use a neti pot." I'm like, I don't like the neti pot. I've never tried one, and I don't think I will. Rushing water going into your nose and coming out the other nostril is not something that pleases me. It is not a fetish of mine.
And you kiss your mother with that mouth?
So let's start with the first news for today. I don't really have like a big news story today. Like, there's nothing really big, so don't expect the title to have like, I don't know. I guess I'll just pick one out of all these stories. Let's start with Nike is releasing the Air Max that is inspired by the Nintendo 64 generation. Get some fresh kicks, y'all. The shoes have a grayish finish to them with a little red, a little green, and a little blue in wavy patterns. According to the House of Heat. I don't even know what that is. What is that? About? There's no about. Okay, whatever. Fuck it. According to the House of Heat, Nike is releasing Air Max 97, inspired by Nintendo's beloved 64-bit system. Both the shoes and the system were released months apart in 1996 and 97, so it's fitting to see these generational icons honoring the era together. The gray on the shoe symbolizes the system's controller, and the splash of green, blue, red, and yellow is inspired by the Nintendo 64's logo. On the tongue, there are 3 black dots representing the controller's inputs, along with a power and reset button on the sole of the shoe. There's an ESRB rating, and on the heel is a Nintendo-shaped Air Max logo. That's actually really cool looking. These are really nice novelty shoes to have, and I'm sure people will actually wear them as well. They're pretty nice looking shoes. Reset button and power button on the heels. That's awesome. On the bottom, nothing really spectacular, just a Nike logo and the regular shoe pattern on the bottom. But yeah, these are actually really nice looking shoes, and if you're a fan of Nintendo 64, it represents Nintendo 64 perfectly. I wasn't really understanding the red, green, and blue and yellow until they brought that up. It is the Nintendo logo colors. I mean, of course they can't use the Nintendo the logo, but yeah, that's really cool. I feel like these are going to be a little bit on the expensive side because they will set you back about $170, and they're expected to arrive in stores and on Nike.com in the coming months. So it's probably going to be around in time for Christmas. It's been speculated that it could come out on the console's 23rd birthday, which is on September 26th. September 26th. Dragon's Dogma Online is closing down after 4 years and having never made it to the West. So, it originally launched on the PlayStation 3 and 4 in 2015. Dragon Dogma Online is the multiplayer follow-up to Capcom's superb action role game, Dragon's Dogma. However, despite some rumors that would persist over the next few years, and the action MMO never left Japan, the general consensus is that it's a pretty good game, too, with some cool character classes and slick combat. Yeah. But after 4 years on the market, Capcom's shutting the title down. The company has confirmed that on the 5th of December in 2019, it'll be pulling the plug. Apparently, it's become too difficult to continue offering a satisfactory service, which is sad news for people who are fans of Dragon's Dogma and people who are waiting for the game to come over to the US and other areas. I never really played Dragon's Dogma. Of course, I didn't even know about the online version of the game. It seems just like a regular MMO, kind of like Skyrim or something like that, where they do an online version of the game, and I'm sure it was fine. I mean, it's unfortunate that it never came over to the US. There's a game that was really announced at E3 this year that's finally coming to the US, and I think people were expecting possibly this game to come over soon. I mean, it's been out for long enough. But as they said, they are officially taking it down, and on the 5th of December. So if you're looking forward to playing this game, might want to put your efforts somewhere else. Yeah, not really much to say about that. It's a little disappointing for people who are fans of Dragon's Dogma, but not much you can do, really. Companies will do what they gotta do. Maybe they're making way for a new game that's going to be across all continents. Who knows? That would be a good idea, but you would think that they wouldn't shut down the servers in Japan until that new game is at least has a trailer or something, you know? But whatever. Alright, so the inside developer, Playdead, that's the name of the developer, their next game has gotten some new artwork. So, Playdead was the creator of Limbo and Inside, which are two kind of darkish, side-scrolling adventures. Limbo, of course, is a masterpiece. Just the animations, the look of the game, the feel of the game. Like, you can die as all these different times, and the platforming and puzzles were amazing in it. And I never got around to playing Inside. I do want to play that, of course, in the future because it is, it does look like a good game, and a lot of players gave it a high praises. But now, we have a new game from them coming out. So, the concept art is looking as dark and sinister as you would think. The environments are looking pretty neato. So apparently they're going to be switching out the 2D perspective in favor of something more open. Maybe more of like a 3D area to explore, or maybe more like those old point-and-click games where it looks like it's 2D, but you can explore the whole area on the screen. I'm not sure what the name of the title is. I don't think they've announced the name of the title yet, but they've put out some really great looking artwork. There's like one where there's a house in like a muddy area. There's one where you're looking out of a huge drain pipe. There's a decayed house in there, and a small figure in the middle. There's one that's just a big rock, and there looks like some robots walking around. There's another one with more robots and a character in there. And there's also one that has like, it's dark, there's a big rock, and there's fungus everywhere. It looks really neato, and I'm excited to see what they can put out next, because obviously the studio is talented. The studio is talented. They've made 2 classics, instant classics, for their first 2 games, and I'm excited for this one. So we'll see what it's going to be called. So far, no working title, but I'm sure Playdead will come out with some more news in the near future. So Rocksteady confirmed that the Batman Arkham Collection is going to release in Europe this coming September. There is currently no plans for the launch of the game in North America. They wrote on Twitter, the marketing manager Gaz Divis. Okay, so the package will bundle an Arkham Knight's promotional Earth 2 Dark Knight skin for PS4 owners for the first time outside of North America. That's pretty neato. It'll also be releasing as DLC worldwide early next year. So this is the tweet that he's sent out. Quick info for the players who have been asking. Batman Arkham Collection is coming to Europe in September and includes the E2 DK skin for the first time outside of the North America. Early next year, the skin will be released as a free download for everyone who owns Batman Arkham Knight on PS4 worldwide. There are no plans for any PS4 Pro upgrades at this stage, and the PS4 exclusive content like the Scarecrow Nightmare missions will remain playable on PlayStation platforms only. So, Amazon kind of leaked out a early image of the Batman Arkham Collection. Of course, it's been taken down now. It said 40 pounds on it. The cover has 4 of the Arkham games. So there's Arkham Knight, Origins, Batman Arkham Asylum, and Arkham City on the cover. So yeah, that'd be pretty cool to release a whole collection. It's something that people have been looking forward to. I think maybe possibly they're going to be waiting to do like a PS4 Pro upgrade or even a PS5 release of all the games, just because they can. I mean, the Arkham games are amazing. I don't think anyone says otherwise. The only game I don't like, the one game I don't like the most in the series is Origins, and I vehemently despise that one. Arkham Knight is hit or miss. I guess they never miss, huh? But it's mostly a miss in my book. It's still playable, it's fine. I think they misused the first-person perspective. I think they really misused a lot of the side characters in it, like Harley Quinn, Penguin, etc., etc. And I felt like the story was just too involved with the Arkham Knight, and there was really no twist in this one. Like, everyone knew that Jason Todd was going to be the Arkham Knight. It's the first Arkham game that they actually address him. And, it's the Arkham Knight. And it can't be Batgirl because she's Oracle, so whatever. But this will be cool for people who haven't played the game. They'll get a collection. Hopefully they'll be releasing this in North America, too, as well. I do have the other remaster of the Arkham games. A lot of people complained that it wasn't really a remaster. It was more of a demaster, etc., etc. I didn't really see it myself, but, we all have different eyes. We all have different and special eyes. Alright, so a sequel to Pokemon Snap won't happen unless there's a very unique twist, says Nintendo. So, it's one of the most requested Pokemon games to come back, a sequel to Pokemon Snap. Just a game for the N64 where you took pictures of Pokemon in the environment, you ride around this little car, and you snap photos of them. The more you snap, the higher your score is. They were asked why there hasn't been a new Pokemon Snap game, and especially following the release of the Wii U gamepad all the way back in the day, and now Nintendo Labo Toy-Con, and the reply was, all I can say is that I don't think we can just make the same thing again, so we'd have to come up with a very unique twist on this if we do make another one. I think the Labo Toy-Con camera could be a viable option, well, I guess the DS isn't really supported by Nintendo anymore, but they could have done something with the Nintendo the 3DS. That one game where you shoot heads while you move around in a 360 environment. I feel like that could work pretty well. I guess they're waiting for something else. They're waiting for something else, and maybe they're waiting for something a little bit bigger. Right now, I mean, the Switch is a good platform for trying that stuff out on. The Joy-Cons are really, I mean, they have motion controls. I don't know how it could snap around. I don't know. I think that it's a good idea. to make another Pokemon Snap game. It'd probably sell like hotcakes. All right, Cuphead. It's getting its very own Netflix show. It's going to be a Netflix original. And right now, so far, all we know is that it's coming in full color and scene sound. It's the Cuphead show. Witness the wondrous Inkwell Isles as you've never seen them before in an original series inspired by the classic animation styles of the 1930s, now in production by the talented team at Netflix Animation. The poster they put out it looks pretty good. It looks like Mugman is going to be the leader, Cuphead's going to be like the leader character in this, and Mugman is going to be kind of like the shy, not so courageous character. It definitely looks like an old school animation, show. You can't really say too much about it right now because it's just a poster and probably still in a development series. As you know from last week, the Witcher series was announced as well. So that is these are two pretty different games, and I feel like this one's might be pretty good. It might be pretty good if they do it correctly. Hopefully they do actually keep it in the same style. I'm wondering if there's going to be voice acting. I don't think this really needs voice acting, to be honest with you. If they really want to make it like a 1930s cartoon in Technicolor, don't have any voice acting. Just kind of show through expression how the characters feel and all that stuff, or have little cards that pop up like the old days that shows what they're supposed to say. But we'll see how this turns out. Hopefully there'll be a little trailer eventually. Hopefully it doesn't take as long to make as, let's say, the original game or the DLC. But only time will tell. Alright, so Dr. Mario World launched a day earlier than expected, so it's out now on iOS and Android. You can check it out now. Dr. Mario World is pretty much just kind of like a Candy Crush type game. And it's only for like the newer mobile games. There's a few phones that actually aren't compatible with the game itself, so it won't show up in the store. I think Dr. Mario World is going to be a better game than that Mario Kart game, especially from what we've seen so far. But I'll let you know how it is if I end up playing it. But yeah, the game's been rolling out to various places, including UK, US, and Japan, and it's first hitting the Apple iPhone store. What's it called? Apple Store? And eventually it's going to arrive on the Android. That's really all I have to say about it so far. There's a little trailer here for it, just showing off how the game works. It looks like it's kind of like the opposite of the way it was before. And it also has some like Candy Crush elements to it as well. Remember, you can choose your own doctor. There's more worlds to unlock as well. I think there's like a Dr. Bowser, Dr. Luigi, Dr. Peach, all that stuff. Dr. Toad? I don't think a Dr. Toad actually. Oh, maybe there is a Dr. Toad. I don't know. But I'll test out the game myself, and maybe in a weekend podcast I'll let you know how it is. Alright, so Cyberpunk 2077 weapon animations are going to change as you get better at using them. So it's going to be kind of like a skill-based item that you get XP for, and you'll be unlocking new animations for as you grow stronger with a weapon. And that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool concept. But on their official Twitter page, they came out and said, "Listen up, Miles Toss, level designer on Cyberpunk 2077, has some cool beans to spill regarding the game's character progression system. You in? Let's see what he has to say."
Hey everyone, my name is Miles Toss and I'm one of the level designers working on Cyberpunk. I have 60 seconds to talk to you about something that we haven't really been mentioning before.
He missed his target.
When you play the game, and we have it in the demo, not many people have picked up on it. When you shoot or use your weapons, you actually increase your proficiency with them. That actually does increase your accuracy, your reloading speed, and the really cool thing is that it also shows in the animations of your character. So your reloading will become smoother, your weapon handling will look cooler, and you will have a real degree of feeling like you're progressing through the game.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I mean, that's pretty cool. That's something that you really haven't seen before in like a first-person shooter or something. I don't even really think we've seen it before at all. In a non story-driven game. Like this, of course, is a story-driven game, but it's still open world technically. So I think that's something cool to add in there. you don't usually see stuff like this, and it sounds like CG Projekt Red is really putting all their marbles into this game. They're really putting all their expertise and stuff like that into it. So we'll see how it turns out. I'm pretty excited for it. I know everyone their breath has been taken away by the E3 stuff and the demos and and the posters and all that stuff. So it's a wait and see on that. Hey, Mr. Predicto, is Cyberpunk 2077 going to be the best game of all time?
Yes, without question.
Wow, nice. Yeah, I'm a big fan of sci-fi games, so this is right up my alley. I can't really get into the Witcher series. I'm trying, but I just can't do it. I think that this is the best way for me to even try and get into a CD Projekt Red game or something like that, because I love the sci-fi stuff. Endless Space, I've been plugging away at that, and it's another sci-fi game that's kind of like Civilization on a galaxy-wide scale. So, pretty cool stuff. All right, so Assassin's Creed Odyssey, the patch 1.40 is out now. It's going to add the new DLC and support, and also fixed a bunch of stuff for levels that were bugged out. There's a new story creator mode that had several tweaks happen to it, and also there was just a whole plethora of levels that had tons and tons of changes to them. Let's see what they did to the story creator mode, because a lot of people were complaining about that, including Chop the Dog. And this was, they addressed an issue with the camera. It was twitching when pressing the next during dialogue options, removed mercenaries from the game when playing a story, added an autosave when completing a story. Players will no longer be rewarded Abraxas after entering a story portal. Addressed an issue that would display Cassandra lines instead of Alexios, and vice versa. The third tag in the story info panel is now correctly aligned, and the others are not obscuring the story's description. Allied relations will now be removed if players set a kill objective on the same NPC further down the line. That's a pretty good update right there. In the main game, there's been a few issues with upgrading the spear and having certain items equipped, and not taking fire damage, a whole list of stuff. I mean, this is like MLA type format typed out, turn it into the teacher today. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff in there. If you want to, you can check out the whole patch notes on Reddit. Along with more patch notes, we got Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled patch 1.06 out, and it fixes a few more bugs. We don't know what bugs, but the bugs have been fixed. That's right, the description just says, bug fixes. So, I really would wish that companies would be a little bit more straightforward with their patches like Assassin's Creed is, because it would be really nice to know exactly what they patched and what to expect, and especially if you've been having that problem, like, this is a big thing. It's a big thing to know what they fixed, so you can come back into the game and enjoy it fully. I don't know, maybe I'm just being a stupid noob. I don't know. Alright, so the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order developers said it would have been really cool to have an alien protagonist in the game. And I gotta agree, having a different race of character would probably be pretty cool. We could have a Gundam be the main character. It would have been cool to have like a choose your own character type thing and just kind of modify the lead actor's voice per which character you use. I don't think that would have been too difficult, but let's see what they have to say. So, as you know, Cal Kestis is a human. He's a human. And I don't know why I said that twice. He is a human, everyone. He's got flesh, bones, blood, all that shit. He's got midi-chlorians, too. So there was a discussion at Respawn Entertainment about having a different race and a different alien race as the protagonist. In an interview with Game Informer, director Stig Asmussen says that the team talked about the possibility of having an alien protagonist. Ultimately, we didn't go with an alien race because we felt like, no pun intended, that would alienate a lot of people. We wanted to make sure that there was a real human connection to the character we have in the game. Although I personally think it would be really cool to have an alien protagonist. I don't know about that statement. I think lots of people can relate to alien characters in movies, whether it's Terminator. No, well, I guess Terminator doesn't have aliens. Well, if it's Alien or, all the way over to Star Wars. I think people can relate with characters no matter what. I don't think it has to be a human face in order for a human to relate to them. People relate to Wall-E, and he's a freaking robot, okay? People relate to Shrek. Me personally, I relate to Shrek. I have layers. But yeah, it would have been pretty cool to have, like, an alien lead, like a, not a Gungan, but, like, something that's humanoid or something like that. There's a lot of characters in the Star Wars universe. Well, and I feel like just having a small amount of the ability to change your character just a smidge would be pretty cool. I know Mass Effect is a big series that's like sci-fi as well, kind of like Star Wars, and you could only have a human character in that as well, and that of course made sense for the story. It was all written around the character who comes from Earth and blah 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 blah. And yeah, it would have been cool to maybe pick an Asari as a main character or something like that. They could have done that with Andromeda, but we usually don't mention that game on this podcast, to be honest with you. It did a lot of damage to my soul.
That's a lot of damage!
But yeah, it would be cool to see a game that has that type of versatility where you can change your features, you can change all that stuff, make yourself be an alien, maybe go to a world where that certain alien, the people there are racist against it. But, unfortunately, no. But I'm sure it's still going to be an okay game. I don't think it's going to be Game of the Year, but I think it's going to be an okay game. From the gameplay and stuff we saw, it looks neat. I like the lead character. He's a cool dude. The person who plays the character, I don't know anything about the lead character himself, but the person who plays the character was pretty cool. Alright, so One Piece Pirate Warriors 4 has been announced, and it's going to come to the PS4 and other systems in 2020. Arg me matey, there be booty to a plunder. Bandai Namco is bringing the Pirate Warriors series back after years of silence. The Japanese publisher announced One Piece Pirate Warriors 4 overnight, and it's coming to PlayStation 4 and other systems in 2020. The revealed trailer has been put out, and the game is pretty much like Destiny Warriors, kind of, where you go around from place to place and openly kill tons of things. I think a pirate version of that would be pretty cool. People are saying that the last game was pretty good, so, hopefully this one's pretty good as well. I haven't really watched One Piece since I was a kid. I watched the first season. I loved the animations and stuff like that. I loved Luffy as a character, and the guy with 3 swords, he like puts one in his mouth. That was pretty epic. I might have to get back into it. I don't think it's on Netflix though. I'd have to probably find it on like one of those sites for weebs. Pirates are cool. I maybe in the future we could get like an Assassin's Creed-esque, maybe not Assassin's Creed, but pirate ship battling game that is in the world of One Piece. That'd be kind of neat. I don't know. Am I saying neat too much? Let's move on. All right. So Panic Button, the development studio, ex-director Adam Crichton has made a new dev studio called Enduring Games. So the ex-director and co-owner of Switchport Wonder Studio, Panic Button, has revealed his latest project, a brand new development studio called Enduring Games. Panic Switch has ported over games like Doom, Wolfenstein, stuff like that. They've been a part of Bethesda's team for a while. So he was involved in Panic Button since 2011, and now he's forming his own company. And it's going to be an Austin-based studio, Austin, Texas. The new company's first tweet reads, "We are making good games with good people, crafting interactive experiences purpose-built for your current and upcoming consoles and handhelds. We are making games for the people, by the people." So yeah, what do you guys think of this? Even though Panic Button is pretty much just a porting studio, let's see what the director can do with his own games. Let's see what they can do. Kind of an interesting time. Alright, so Tetris 99, the physical edition, has been confirmed for the West with DLC and online subscription included. It's going to be launching later this September. So it was officially revealed on the Nintendo's website that the Tetris 99 physical version is going to come to Japan and it's going to come to everything else later this year in September. So the game is already available for free on eShop, of course, but if you are a collector and you want the big block of DLC to be packaged in that, you can grab this game physically. Okay. You also get a 12-month membership included as well. So the Big Block DLC itself is going to be getting more modes later this year, as I already reported. And if you buy it as part of this bundle or from the eShop, you're going to get local arena and 2P share battle as well. There's no pricing yet for the Western release, but we do know it's coming the 20th of September, which is the same day as Link's Awakening. Ruh-roh-weggy! I guess it's not a big thing to put out, you know? So this is actually kind of cool. The new indie developer that's developing the new Turok game is making it like none of the other games. If you know, Turok is like a dinosaur fighting game. I think it was first person, and you kind of fought dinosaurs and went through, all these different areas. This new game is going to be called Turok Escape from the Lost Valley, and it's been developed by Pillow Pig Games. Fucking pigs! Instead of being a first-person shooter, it's going to be a isometric viewpoint. It's going to be an isometric viewpoint and is wrapped up in a cute and friendly art style. According to Destructoid, it's also more likely to be an adaptation of the comic book series. That's kind of cool. So here's the description of the game on Steam. In Turok Escape from Lost Valley, you wake from a long sleep as Turok and adventure alongside Andar through the dangerous world of the Lost Valley as you seek to find a path home. Encounter iconic creatures from the Turok comic series with a cute but dangerous twist. Master the art of the knife and the bow as you encounter adorable but deadly enemies. Discover a path through unique environments and choose the best weapon for the enemy in front of you. Live the adventure. Confront your foes. Assist primordial natives. Primordial! I got it! And keep Andar and yourself alive as you escape from Lost Valley. There's also a trailer out as well, which showcases the new style. Very cartoony. It's very cartoony. Nothing at all like the original Turoks. If I was going to compare it to a game, I'd probably say like Crypt of the Necrodancer, maybe. It's a little bit more rounded on the edges. It's very more comic-y, but it looks pretty cool. I like the style of the T-Rex in the screenshot we got here. It's like a plushie toy almost. It looks kind of cute. So yeah, definitely a game to look out for, and it definitely looks original. It looks different. So the 7-year-old YouTube phenomenon, Ryan's Toy Review, that's what he's called, is getting a video game called Race with Ryan. If you don't know, this is a kid who reviews toys on a YouTube channel, pretty much run by his father. He's opened up Kinder Surprise eggs and all that crap. He has his own line of mystery goo, he has his own line of toys, games, and now it's going into the virtual world. That's right, Race with Ryan is going to come out on November 1st. Wow, he has over 27 million subscribers and he's only 8 years old. Oh, okay, that's setting him up for failure in the future. I'm sorry, it's true! Kids who get this much fame this early on usually end up going through a slump, okay? It's inevitable. Hopefully that doesn't happen, though, but I just gotta put it out there, okay? So Race with Ryan is being developed by 3D Clouds. It's going to give you the chance to race as Ryan, as the title says, and his friends through various colorful worlds. It'll also feature 4-player split-screen multiplayer, and as you can see from the trailer, in the box art, there's absolutely no shortage of color and energy. I wonder if there's a goo trap. Is there a goo trap in this? So here's a little bit from the official blog post. Race for victory across the colorful world of YouTube sensation Ryan. Challenge yourself in career mode and race with friends in split screen. Simple racing controls, auto acceleration, auto steering, and tutorial mean everyone can play. Unlock more than 20 Ryan's World toy characters and vehicles, including Mo, Gus, Alpha, Lexa, Peck, and Ryan himself? What? Ryan himself is in this game? Oh my god! Speed around 6 magical locations, including a toy shop, fantasy park, Wild West, and Spooky Land. Just looks like your generic racing game, kids racing game. I bet the trophies are going to be pretty easy. I'm guessing they're trying to go up against Mario Kart 8 and Crash Team Racing. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to go up against that, like, what was that one where you raced as old people? I don't even remember the name of that game. That was a waste of $12. But yeah, right now it's rated PG Peggy 3. Is that what it's called in the UK? And it's rating pending still in the US, so maybe we'll get an R-rated version. kind of weird. All right, so yeah, that's that. So, next up, Nintendo is explaining how it would combat a hostile takeover. They say they do have systems in place to take over the company if people get out of control. It's kind of weird. So, Furukawa responded to the question about a hostile takeover by explaining how they had not adopted an anti-takeover measure, but if anything did happen, it had the necessary systems in place to counter it. We have not adopted what are generally called anti-takeover measures. However, in the case that we faced a hostile takeover that would damage the value of the company or the common interest of the company's shareholders, we do have systems in place, both within the company and in connection with our outside experts for such an occurrence, to take all legal and appropriate steps against it, even if we have not proactively put preventative measures in place. He also said, going forward, we will continue to investigate how we would respond to a hostile takeover. I don't know if, like, that's a... I don't know. It seems like Nintendo is pretty well off, unless, like, a new director comes into place and they're, like, completely off the rails. I don't know. Well, but interesting, I guess? I don't know. Another, Nintendo CEO, bigger corporation news, Samantha Robertson, who is the Nintendo Treehouse head, has left the Treehouse and has moved into a new role at Nintendo. So she has left the Treehouse after 8 years of working there, and she's going to be going over to being the manager of product marketing for the publisher and developer relations department at Nintendo of America. Here's what she had to say about it. I can't wait to work with Treehouse and a whole new Nintendo family in new ways as we share our passion for all the great games that developers and publishers from all over the world bring to our life and our platforms. Congratulations, Samantha, for moving up in the Nintendo ranks. I really have never watched a Nintendo Treehouse experience, but if she's been there for 8 years, she must have something going on for her. And finally, in the news today, Smash Bros. Ultimate Everyone Is Here Mural artist explains how it was made. He says the idea came from Sakurai-san. Let's see what he has to say. So he says, of course, the idea came from Sakurai-san of creating a giant mural that could show off how impactful the game was at E3 and other promotional events. Jesus Christ, Yemmy. It was decided that it would feature hand-drawn art with realistic proportions, and I would be the main person working on it, as it would be the quickest. Regarding the art style, I first showed off Breath of the Wild's Link and Mario in an oil painting style and showed it to Sakurai-san. He liked it and gave it the go-ahead, and it was a smooth start. Out of all characters, the first two I illustrated for those two. He also goes on to say, first, with the 66 fighters revealed at E3, I considered what pose they would make and how they would be placed, as long as the long canvas by drawing rough line work and piecing it all together like a puzzle. The fighters in Smash Bros. Are all main characters, but I didn't place them focused around the center, but averaged them out around the artwork. The theme was that no matter what part you cropped, there would be sights to behold. Furthermore, by averaging out their positions, I had the advantage of being easier to add the additional characters. Regarding the additional characters, I already had an idea where to place them, but they were mostly placed through trial and error. So technically, this guy is like the first guy to know what character is coming to Smash Brothers. So if you ever met him on the street, pass him a few $100 and be like, "Hey, when's this is this character coming to Smash?" I don't know. The painting is very impressive. Everyone's seen it, whether it's through E3 commercials or stuff like that. You've all seen it where they'll add the character into the roster or et cetera, et cetera. It's a very well drawn item, and it really, I mean, has everyone. Everyone's there, and it looks really good. So that's pretty cool. It's apparently been his dream to make something this big. I guess those dreams have been realized. All right, well, that's all the news for today. I think I'm going to do a quick card pack opening for the visual watchers, of course. We are still looking for that Blue Eyes Fusion card. But let's see what we get in this pack today. I put it down a little bit too far. There we go. Let's open this baby up. I swear if I get another Magicians Unite, I am going to throw it in the garbage. Let's see what we got. We got a Magical Ghost. Pretty basic. Amazoness Spy. Sword and Shield. I have so many of these. And oh boy, a Skull Servant. Woo! Alright, they can't all be winners. They can't all be winners, guys. Anyways, thank you so much for showing up to this episode of YemmyCast, a video game podcast. It's been a pleasure having you guys here, talking with you guys. Thank you so much if you're here for the premiere of the podcast. Thank you so much for showing up. It's always a pleasure talking to you guys in the chat as well. If you're listening on any other platform, Spotify, SoundCloud, or iTunes / Apple Music, I appreciate you nonetheless. I don't think there's really anything special coming out. Oh, wait! Player 2 and Yemmy Power Hour is is uploading on the channel this Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you check that out. We talk for an hour. We can only talk for an hour. At an hour mark, the doors of the elevator close, and we are done talking. That's it. So if you want to, you can check that out. There's so many different things we talk about during this first episode, and we already have a second one in the works as well. So if you want to, you can check that out on YouTube. I will probably be putting the audio somewhere on SoundCloud or something like that. And if there's enough demand, it'll eventually come on to Spotify. Pretty nice, pretty cool. So yeah, that's the newest thing coming out. Of course, every Tuesday is a new Yu-Gi-Oh card pack opening, or Yu-Gi-Oh box opening. Whatever I have on me is opened up, which is always a fun time. And right now, I really have no plans for anything else right now. Maybe a new edited video soon for something I've done with my friend. But other than that, there's really just podcasts and this coming out. So thank you again for watching. I am your host, YemmytheFerret, and this has been YemmyCast, a video game podcast. Player 2 and Yemmy Power Hour. And Thanos is just like,
I'm from Alabama. I'm related to my mom, my sister, and my dad.
Yeah, there you go.
All at the same time.
oh, Belle Delphine,
Is she trolling though?
her
Because she's
bathwater
known
is
for
a
that, but is
bio.
she still...
So wide-reaching.
You're not getting out of that.
I'm not following her. I will show a screenshot of me not following
it disappears because other people like it.
It's true.
Hell no.
It's true.
No. Big metal tin.
They won't collect dust though if they're in a tin.
Well, what if the tin has dust already in it?
Well, then that's the personal problem. And
Yeah.
then later you find out, I was watching anime. Technically, I was a weeb.
This is where the line crosses.
Haven't you ever seen
Schools
Cool Cat
do-
Saves the Kids? The guy brings a gun to school, and Cool Cat punches him in the face. Here we are. We have an hour to talk.